Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, The School of Love. My name is Maria and I am helping people discover their inner potential for love towards oneself and towards the others. In today's video, I'm going to explain 3 steps on how to shift your focus. This is a rather unusual video from my side. I'm usually very practical, very pragmatic, and I do not really delve into this law of attraction and new age topics. But I think once in a while it is important to know, to explore what, this esoteric gurus and, specialists say, and see whether we cannot find interesting ideas worth experimenting. And one of them is this: how to shift your focus, how to consciously choose what you put your attention on. Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is a researcher, talks about the fact that where you put your focus, where you put your attention, this is where your energy goes. And energy means your mental, your emotional, your physical energy. So it is important from this perspective to be very careful where our focus is. Of course, we cannot always control what we focus on, where our attention goes, and particularly in this era where it seems that attention span gets shorter and shorter, we just feel ourselves distracted all the time by all sorts of things. Our phone, news, announcements in the train, some music, like everything seems to be happening at the same time, and everything seems to be very important. And this is a huge source of stress for us at all levels, spiritually, physically, and it is exhausting. So how do we become at least partially able to control our focus and to decide by ourselves, of course individually, where we put our attention, what we focus on? Because this is where our energy goes, our mental, our emotional, our physical, our material energy, or spiritual energy. And I have found 3 plain steps in practicing and developing this skill of controlling your focus, at least to a certain degree. The first step is awareness. Awareness refers to this ability to say, to stop and think, why am I thinking about this? Particularly if it's a troubling thought. Or why am I feeling this? Particularly if it is a so-called negative emotion. In my opinion, and not only my opinion, I took it from specialists, from people who know better in this area, there are no negative emotions. There are only emotions which feel good and emotions which feel not so good or bad. But all emotions are actually necessary for us. This is why we have them. Otherwise, they would have dissipated in the flow of history. And the so-called negative emotions like, fear, anger, frustration, sadness, they are there to tell us something, to announce us that something needs to be adjusted or repaired. And the more we try to repress or suppress them, or the more we try to ignore them, the stronger they become. And the more effort we have to put into ignoring and suppressing and repressing them. So the solution is actually to feel them. And the moment we feel emotions, this is the moment when we have to think, so why am I feeling it? Why am I feeling sad at this moment? Maybe there's a song I have just listened to. Maybe there is a conversation which just touched my ear. Some people sitting next to me and having a conversation. Or maybe I'm tired, and when I'm tired, I tend to have negative thoughts, which then trigger negative emotions, then reinforce negative thoughts, and so on. So the first step is to become aware of what you're feeling, what you are thinking, and also what your state, your physical state. Why am I hungry? I have just eaten 2 hours ago. Because this kind of stuff, when it happens, it is a signal of our body, of our organism, that something needs to be done in a specific area. So self-awareness is crucial in understanding why is it this happening right now with me. The second step is let go of the potential reward coming from not being aware. So potential reward or payoff. When we suppress our so-called negative emotions, maybe we do it because we want to appear positive and encouraging and light-hearted and bright persons, which is unrealistic, to be honest, because nobody can be all the time happy unless they are on Prozac or some other antidepressants, and this is not healthy. But by nature, the organism and us as human beings, we need to be in so-called homeostasis, which refers to a sense of balance. So when we feel too happy or happy, then we need automatically to come back to this homeostasis, to this sense of balance, which can only result when we have some sort of so-called negative emotions. Yeah? It's a sense of balance. Like if we go too much to the right, then automatically I need to go the same distance to the left so that I come in the middle. Now, what happens is that in this culture dominated by consumerism and this state of permanent euphoria, we are not allowed to have negative emotions, and we have come to the place where we do not allow ourselves to feel negative emotions, or we're actually afraid of. We're very self-conscious about anything that might be regarded as negative, and this is not good for our organism, for us as biological beings. So let go of that potential reward or potential payoff which comes from not being aware. Maybe you have to appear, or you want to appear as very hardworking, but then this of course leads to a sense of discomfort or tiredness or guilt because you do not spend so much time with your family and so on. So it's important to notice and to let go, to accept. Let go refers to acceptance, that you are the way you are. Your focus is on a specific area, which then leads to a sense of imbalance in other areas, and let go of whatever comes from entertaining, from keeping up this sense of imbalance. And number 3 is set the new focus for the future. So decide from now on, I'm not repressing my sadness anymore. Sometimes we eat because we're sad, or we drink alcohol because we're sad. Any addiction is actually this desperate attempt of our body to not deal with things we actually should be dealing with. So when I am sad, I'm sitting with the sadness. I'm sitting with it. I'm not running away from it. But it's important not to formulate these intentions in a negative way. So I am not running away from my sadness, but I'm sitting with my sadness. I'm facing my sadness. I'm talking to my sadness. I am accepting my sadness. I'm embracing my sadness. For instance, let's say your focus is on I don't have enough money. So something many of us can identify with. So then you say, so there is a payoff because you can always talk about it. And then you have a reason to complain with your friends who are maybe even more broke than you are, but then it creates a sense of community by being all of you broke and complaining about not having money. This is the payoff, a sense of belonging. So what's important is to address this sense of belonging and then to turn it, to let go of it, and then to say, okay, from now on, I am finding ways to earn more money. If necessary, I'm avoiding those friends who are as broke as I am, or probably even more broke than I am. And I will face the loneliness which comes from not belonging to that group of broke people. From now, let's say your focus is on the fact that your children are growing up and developing their own individualities, and they seem not to need you so much anymore. And then there's a little bit maybe of resentment because you would still like them to be the little fluffy things who needed you so much. But then you say, I am developing a healthy relationship in alignment with the development stage of my children. I am allowing them to be the beautiful individuals that they are, and I am aligning with that. So it's important to set a new focus. It's important to focus by setting an intention in a positive manner, in a positive grammatical formulation. So not, I'm not going to think about it anymore, this doesn't work, this is just wrong, but I'm going to face my fear of loneliness. I'm going to sit with my loneliness. I'm going to sit and accept and embrace the fact that I'm gaining weight and so on. So this is very important. Yeah, there's three. I sum up the 3 steps. First step, the most important, 95% of the whole how to shift a new focus project is awareness, self-awareness. Number 2 is let go. Let go of that potential reward or that potential payoff which comes from not being aware of, which comes from avoiding awareness. And number 3, set the new focus for the future by formulating it in I am sentences and grammatically positive. I am focusing on losing weight, on attaining my perfect weight. I am focusing on building a good, healthy, sustainable relationship with my partner, with my spouse. I'm allowing my children to be the wonderful individuals that they are, and I am finding my alignment with their development. So that would be it for today. Thank you for listening to me, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you back very soon. Again, love and peace to you all.